So we said, now at Likutei Halachos, Hilchos Kriyat Shma, Halacha Aleph, and we said like this, that the Zman Kriyat Shma at night is all night long. He is the hero of all night long. So Zman Kriyat Shma is all night long because the night is Man Bitul. There's a time of Bitul, of Sheno. But during the day, the Zman Bitul ends when people stand up from their beds. Then they start dealing with Oil Mazeh. So that's why the end of the time of flaming Krishma during the day ends when Bnei Melachim, most people are already up, which is 3 hours into the day. By that time, everybody's awake. Everybody is putting their heads in the mud of this world. No Zman Krishma. And he says like this: Valken tzrichen hafrid ben adveikim. That's why you have to separate between two who are adjoined. Ki af sheikir hu habitul hatachlis shu kula eicha. Shu kol dibur nechlan beicha. Even though the main tachlis is that everything should be included in the tachlis, in the reason of all reasons, in the goal of all goals, that everything is one. All the diburim will be included in one. Still, the main shleimus is to come back from the bitul. Lashuv b'chinas habitul. V'letzamtzem ha'or l'saken ha'midas v'hakelim. The main thing is to go into the bitul. We talked about it in Ashkamas HaBoikim, talking about that during sleep the neshama goes to Ein Sof, b'chinas bitul. Then when it comes back, it brings back that which is called the reshima, an imprint from Ein Sof. Now you have to build a kelim, you have to build vessels to contain what you brought, because otherwise, you just went to, you took the tour of the light, fantastic, but you get nothing to show for it. The main thing is now to bring kelim and to contain that light and bring Chidushim over here. The main thing is to come back from Bitul and to constrict the light and to fix, measures and tools and vessels. So the main shleimus is the way it is said, you wanted glory, you craved glory from, those made of sand, as Rabbeinu said. This is the Chidush Torah that are being written after the Bitul. Because the Torah, we also said in that halacha that we said before, that Torah is a B'chinas Midas L'Kelim. Rabbeinu said, Torah Nun Vav. And he says, Midas Yomai, the measurement of my days, Mahi. What is it? That's what the pasuk says. The Rabbeinu says that the midas of the Yom, the days are a measurement, are a keli, a vessel. A Yom is a vessel, right? Mm-hmm. So midas Yom, it is the vessel, the container that constricts and contains the light that comes from the Chokhmah, which is Ma. The name Kodesh of the Chokhmah is Ma. The Midas Yomai, my days, why our days are divided into, our lives divided into days. There's Sunday, there's Monday, there's Tuesday. So there should be, okay, this is what we're doing today, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. Because otherwise it'll just be, so everything has to be contained. The Torah is divided into parshas, into psukim, and into words, and into letters. And each one of them is a measurement, is a keli. And the way that you receive the life and vitality from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Chai HaChaim, is with the buckets of the Torah. If the Kadosh Baruch Hu is the Mayan, and Mayan Beis Hashem Yitzeh, with the Torah, with the Psukim, with the Sugyas, with the Parshas, with the Mishnayos, each one of them is a bucket with which you draw the water of Chayas Mechai HaChaim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. כי התורה בחינת מידות וכן כמו שכתב רבינו. אבל כן, that's why צריך להמשיך האור בהדרגה ובצמצום. You have to draw the light, in a measured pace, בצמצום, constricted, כדי שיוכלו הכלים לקבל, so that the vessel will be able to accept it. I mean, you pour, if you take from a fire hydrant, and you open it up, like the firefighters, they opened up there, try to fill a bucket with this thing. It is so strong, sadly it'll shatter it, nothing will stay in the keli. It'll come in and go, jump right out. So you want to fill, it has to be Bavaria, it has to be slow, you can't just burn, you have to burst it. But the ring, we can receive it. Shouldn't be too much of goyim shviras kelim. The ribuy, when there's too much light, it shatters the vessels. But כן צריך להפריד בין הדבקים. That's why when you say Krishma, in Krishma itself, Kriyat Shma itself, you have a word that ends with a mem and begins with a mem. So you have, or a word that ends with a lamed, and another begins with a lamed, like bechol levavchem. So there is an inyan to separate, to say bechol levavchem. Not say bechol levavchem, as if there's one lamed between them. Those that end with a mem and the next one begins with a mem, or end with a lamed, these are called the vacuum. These are called, they're stuck together. There's a mitzvah to say the words separately, to separate the vacuum. So they said that's the reason why there's a mitzvah to separate the vacuum, to give each keli its own identity, its own space. ועל כן צריך להפריד בין הדבקים, כדי לעשות גבול ומידה וצמצום לכל כלי, to give a measurement and a constriction to each כלי, כדי שיוכל להמשיך האור לכל אחד לפי מידות ובשיעור, so you can bring down the light to each keli according to its measurement, according to its how much it's supposed to contain. ולא להוציאו מהצמצום, and not to chas v'chalila take it out of the tzimtzum, ולדבקם יחד, and glue them together, ולחבצות אחד מהם, and to make them into one thing. Because this is b'chinas ribuy or goyim shviras hakeli. This is the overabundance of light that causes the shattering of the vessels. And this is what is written in Kisvei Arizal. The beginning of the breakage, or the shattering of the vessels, of the primordial spiritual vessels of creation, they were connected and combined together. They were still not separated and divided. B'chinas kavim, and the kavim of kav yamin, sol and emsa, that is said over there. V'zeh shavru Rabbeinu Zal, that's what Chazal said. Kol hamafrid ben adveikim, anybody who is careful to mafrid ben adveikim, to say bechol levavchem, and he says mitzanim lo gehinnom, they chill gehinnom for him. As kirashoyim shulchem chal tevos libo, the Rishonim will go after the times of their heart. והולכים אחר הסטרה אחרה, they go up the סטרה אחרה. What is the source of the סטרה אחרה? שנסע במריבוי אוהל. סטרה אחרה came after ריבוי אוהל. ועל כן נכוון בגהינו. That's why what happens, they get singed, in the Gehenom. שנסהווה מזיוסון של חייס. The Gehenom is the what they call the superfluous keviochel sweat of the Chayes HaKodesh. Ki achayos ratzon Hashem. The angels or Olam Yetzira are called Chayos. They're called ratzon Hashem. In all the Olamas, you have the Olam Atzilus, which is considered one thing with Ein Sof. Okay. Then you have the Bria. The Olam Bria is Kivyochel, the engine. Then you have Olam Asiyah. The last one is the wheels. That's why the Malachim of Olam Asiyah are called Oifanim. Oifanim means literally wheels. That's what I found. The wheels. The Malachim of the Olam Abriya, they're called Srafim. They burnt the Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's the engine. What happened to the engine? There's fire burning an engine, right? It's a Srafim. The Malachim of Olam Abriya is called Srafim. Now, in between the Bria and the Asiyah, there's another world called Olam Yetzira. Olam Yetzira is the transmission. It brings from the engine of the Bria to the wheels of the Asiyah. The angels of Olam Yetzira are called Chayos. And what is their Ratzov Hashov? They go back and forth. They go up to the Bria to bring down to this, and they bring it down to the Asiyah. Chayos Ratzov Hashov. They are their transmission. That's the interface in the Bria and the Yetzira. From the sweat Kivyochel, it's obviously a marshal of the Chayos, the extra, from the action of the Chayos, this is what Gehenna was made from. Is it? Because he says, because what happened is that the Chayos, elevated, they go up to see above the firmament, which is above their heads of the Chayos, because of the great fear of what they see. This is, they come back. And this is why, this is the thing that goes down on the heads of the Rishonim, and they are being singed, they're being burnt of this Zeh. Because Zeh is Lashon Zia. Zia and Retet is Pachad. It's not sweat, the excess Zia is like, that's what they give off from the Zia, from the Pachad. See, the thing is, when a person has a taiva, we all have taivas. What can you do? It's a normal thing, and without taivas, the world would not exist. But if a person looks, what is above him? What is above him? Okay, you're going to do what do you think is going to be? What happens? Chas v'chalila, if a person would bring him out, chas v'chalila, what would happen? Kodesh Baruch Hu will take him in the middle of that area. Boom! Shemirach, what will you do? Just making a mikveh, police come, arresting me, man. Fear, I wouldn't do that, What are they going to do to you? Are they going to shoot you? You're not going to shoot you. But when it comes to Averis, it comes to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Shemirach. So from the fear of the consequences, this is called the Zia of the Chayes HaKodesh. This goes on the Rishonim, because the Rishonim represent exactly the opposite. כי לא שבו מתאבוסם, the Rishonim, היו מהפך מזה, the Rishonim were the opposite of this. כי לא שבו מתאבוסם, they did not come back with the taivas. ורודפו ומילו תאבוסיהם, and they ran and they filled the taivas. שזה בחינת ריבוי אור, this is too much light, too much taivas. שמזה יש גם הסתרה אחת, this brings about the surging, the overcoming סתרה אחת. He says because he explains because you have to bring this to mind. כי כל הטייבס מלובש בהם טוב. All the taivas have good, which is clothed and cloaked in them. שנשתלשל מהטוב העליון. This is all something which trickle down from the ultimate good, from the supernal good. But because of the abundance of light, that brought about the wreckage of the vessels, the shattering of the vessels. This is the origin of the klipas. That's why that good is embedded in the klipas. He who separates between the dveikim, in other words, he makes sure that each vessel, is separate and distinct. This is the containment, the proper containment and constriction of the light inside the midas. They chill out Gehenna for him. Because he's not singed, he doesn't get burned from Gehenna, which is the sweat of the chayes. Because you himself are at Tzov Hashem. You come and you go. Because you constrict the light properly. And you don't run to get into HaKadosh Baruch Hu more than it's appropriate for you. The very same way that the chayes do. That they come forth, to the Bria, to the Kodesh, but they rescind because of the fear. They're afraid to go, inside from the Mechitza. Ad kan, Hilchos Krias Shma, Halacha Aleph. It's Hashem tomorrow, we will start Halacha days.